From out of the man cave and onto the air, it's your favorite voice of ecstasy. It's John St. John with the best morning after ever radio show. 30-some-odd minutes of happenings, discussions, and full frontal nudity. So put your arms around your speakers. It's John St. John!
My name is Kezban, and I'm from North Carolina. I'm auditioning for American Idol because I think it's a very unique and interesting opportunity for me as a performance artist. And the main reason is that my mother is a big fan of the show and I'd like to make her proud. When I got the golden ticket, I was shocked. I'm still pretty shocked. I feel like it's something totally bizarre that happened to someone else, not to me. Musically, I'm inspired by Jeff Mangum from Neutral Milk Hotel. As far as fire goes, I'm inspired by Night Magic Designs and the friends and performers I know there. One of the things that makes me unique is a very open-minded, creative, do-it-yourself attitude. I want to learn how to make a skirt. I want to learn how to make a cloak, how to make, I already make dream catchers and balloon animals, and, I just basically want to learn how to do everything. I have 3 favorite past American Idol contestants, and those are the following: Casey Abrams, Adam Lambert, and Philip Phillips. Adam Lambert for his theatrics, his costuming, his videos. Casey Abrams for his freedom in his lyrics, for his very eccentric subject matter and his personality. Philip Phillips, I don't even really know why. It's just, he has a great voice and a good personality as well. I am the next American Idol because I think it's time for something a little different on the show.
All right, that was our open today. We were listening to our upcoming guest here in a couple seconds. That was Kezban, a former contestant of American Idol, and now she's back in Chicago. We're going to catch up with her in just a second. And just so you are remembering who we are, I am John St. John, your host of the Best Morning After Ever radio show. Right next to me is my lovely, lovable, beautiful, wonderful co-host, Cindy Lou.
Yeah, nobody remembers who you are because you're not on there that much.
Oh, okay. So I guess
hate to break it to you.
That's why I have to remind everybody. See, every time I want them to remember.
Yeah, you are listening.
Even though it says right in the open. But anyway, I wanted everybody to hear that. So when we get our guest on the line, they'll kind of be briefed as to who that was and how long ago she was on. But without further ado, let's welcome to the line Kezban from Chicago. Hey, Kezban.
Howdy. How you doing?
We're good. We're good. How you doing this morning? It's actually a Friday morning here in Chicago. We're taping this early in the morning. You sound pretty awake for being a Friday morning.
Well, I wanted to make sure I was awake enough to talk to you guys, and thank you again for having me on.
Sure, no problem.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Just to clarify, that obviously wasn't this season of American Idol. What year was that?
Nope, it was about 2 years ago, 2 years plus, season 12.
I think, what are we at, 15 already? Is it season 15?
The judges were Nicki Minaj, Mariah Carey, Keith Urban, and Randy Jackson.
I like those judges better than now. Well, now they've got, who they got back? Jennifer Lopez, I think, and Keith Urban, and I forget who the other one is. Is it still Nicki Minaj?
I'll tell you the sad truth, I don't know, because I really don't watch television much.
Just because you're a part of TV, you don't want to watch it, huh?
Yeah, there's nothing against. I just don't really end up with much time to watch television. I'd rather be doing something.
Well,
I thought if I am watching, it ends up being a cartoon mostly.
That's funny.
That's probably the best kind of TV, honestly.
I figured that it was good to have you on. Yeah, right, cartoons, right. Family Guy, Simpsons, right, all the Fox stuff. I figured it was cool to have you, another plug for Fox, American Idol, and all the cartoons. I figured it was cool to have you on because, American Idol, the new season just premiered, so it was kind of timely to have you on to comment on the show itself and what you've been up to here. You're a local celebrity in Chicago.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure, not too many folks know who I am, but the ones that do, when they recognize me on the street, they tend to be really excited and greet me with friendliness, and I feel a lot of love from random strangers that, know me more than I would know them.
And you've done a lot of performance, like at all these clubs, in the lobbies of all these popular sites in Chicago.
I've hit a few of them, yeah, and I do plan to hit a few more, although I lean more towards playing outside your favorite clubs rather than inside. That would just be a personal choice.
You're like the opening act. Literally, right before you walk in the door, they get to hear you. That's cool. While they're waiting outside in the line.
When you come out for a break for fresh air, or when you're going to and fro dinner in the bar, that's where you're going to find me, ready to play you a song. And it's a personal choice. First of all, I started doing street performance when I was about 15 and a half, 16 years old. Back then I was real shy, and I would just play real quietly with a little cup that wasn't even marked. And
nice.
I hardly, I'd be lucky if I made a penny.
Was that here in Chicago, or where are you from originally?
I'm from North Carolina. I was in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, playing on the streets there.
So nice and warm, not like this weather.
Oh yeah, we do get our share of chilly, but we do not get cold like Chicago. That's the one downside to living in Chicago, is just those frigid temperatures that we can reach. But I'll say this winter's been a little bit kinder than
so
most.
Far.
I haven't seen a lot of that snow that freezes over and makes you break an ankle.
We've talked off the air a couple times to get ready for the interview, and you had mentioned sometimes you could make more being like the opening act or in the patio or in the front of the club than if you're actually the featured performer, depending upon some of these local venues in Chicago. I found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it just depends on, first of all, I don't have a band. I'm a solo performer. If, eventually I do have plans or dreams of having a drummer and a bassist and, oddly enough, violin. But,
violin,
until that
cool.
day, yeah, I love violins. Love them.
I don't know how that would go with your kind of music. Cindy Lou was asking, what type of music, what do you call your genre? And I would say, it's like rock, funk, or whatever. What do you, you'll play a little bit of everything, don't you?
Yeah, I have trouble knowing what to call it, too, but I say it's kind of acoustic rock, grunge, folk punk, country blues. I play a lot of, old-timey ballads. But I play a lot of 90s alternative, for instance, like when I'm trying to crowd please, I end up doing Sublime, What I Got, Oasis, Wonderwall.
Nice.
The Pixies, Where Is My Mind.
All acoustic, just with the guitar.
So you're singing some other
me and the guitar.
people's
Stomp
work
my feet
too.
a little bit here and there.
Yeah, she's doing all covers, right? You're cover.
Okay.
No, I write a lot of music as well. It kind of depends. Most of the time, for a random crowd that shows up, I'll play about 2 covers to 1 original. That way, nobody's getting bored as often.
I like the song that you played on American Idol, the one that got you through the first couple rounds. It was pretty good. What's the name of that song again?
Thank you. That was As Your Sky, and it's written by Nick Maseraccia. His version is way different than the version I played on the show. Basically, I call it an original arrangement of his tune. There's kind of some confusion.
All right, so wait a minute.
I really knew there was a co-writer, but
yeah, I was going to say you didn't actually
look up Nick Maseraccia. Check him out. He's kind of a Hank Williams. Remind me.
But he's not. It sort of was a compilation. You put your
spin
on it.
I put a lot of elbow grease into that song. Absolutely, I spent hours and hours and hours on it. But
I like that term, hobo grease.
It became a favorite. I met this guy. I was a traveler for a long time. And while I was traveling, I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I met this guy who was just shirtless, wearing a pair of overalls, kind of greasy-like, walking down the street, red hair, freckles, a guitar over his shoulder with no strap, no case, just like sticking up in the air, He's holding it by the headstock, by the neck.
Wow, okay.
And he's walking a black dog, and he's just walking all happy-go-lucky, like, I seen this guy, and I said, man, I got to talk to this person,
Okay, so he's actually the writer, is what you're saying. That's the guy that wrote it for you.
Yeah, he wrote the lyrics, he wrote the guitar part and the melody, and when I got a hold of it, like I added the instrumental solo thing and the ending part. The only lyrics I changed are the part about Chicago. I don't believe is in there in the original version. And there's another lyric that gets dropped based on the audience I'm performing for.
Well, that song, too, I mean, basically that's what got... I mean, how did you get on... Let's talk about, first of all, I know you normally don't want to ask someone's age, but seriously, you were pretty young when you went on to American Idol, right? I mean, that's, what did you say, 3 years ago almost now?
Honestly, I'll say that I viewed it the other way around. When I was on the show, I was the same age as the staff, and most of the other contestants were a good deal younger than I am.
Okay.
I'm 29. I will be 30 very soon, and that's scary, but not really.
So, yeah, you were definitely a little bit older than most. Some of those contestants are like 16 years old. I mean, Scotty McCready, you won. Wasn't he like 17 when he won, I think? I think he won the year you were on with him. I think you were on with him.
No, the winner of season 12 was Candace Glover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he must. I think he was the next year. Scotty McCready. You remember when he won?
I didn't meet
No.
I don't believe I met Scotty McCready.
He's got a real deap voice, but he was only like 17. That's why.
Oh yeah.
I kind
I'm
of stopped.
familiar with him a little bit, but
You what?
you know who I really got close with was Zonette, the crazy, wild hair, big voice, big woman. She sang the Lion King song.
Yeah, she didn't make it to the final. Did she make it to like the final four or whatever?
She made it further than I did, but I believe she only made it to. She was in the top 20.
As were you, right?
Far enough to.
You were in
the round when they select the top 20 is when I got sent home.
Oh,
So
I
if
thought you were
made
actually in the
one
top
more
20.
round,
Okay.
I was in the top 60, I'd say. I made it to the very last day of Hollywood Week. So I was in L.A. with them for 9 days. We had a good old time.
Well, you made it to L.A. is the cool part.
Fed us well. Yeah, they flew us out to L.A. They made sure we didn't have to spend money on anything.
Where did you do the open casting call? Here in Chicago or down in North Carolina? How did you get the first?
Here in Chicago.
Okay.
There was it was just a whim. I was on the phone with my mom. I had heard that American Idol was coming to town. I'm not a big television person, but I remember watching the show with my mother at home when I lived at home before I moved out and flew the coop, so to speak, as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching it with my mom at home, and I used to really get into it back then. And I told her, I said, "Hey, American Idol's coming to town." I was totally joking. I said, "Mom, I'm going to go become the next American Idol." I laughed, and I did not have any plans to audition at all. She was like, "No, you should really do it. It would be great." And I said, I was a little nervous. I'm like, "Man, I'm not quite what they're looking for, Mom." She goes, "No, but you should really try it. Maybe, you never know."
And they were what you were looking for. You made it out, like you said, at the top. It was more in the top 60. You were in like the top 30 or whatever. I remember seeing that season.
The reason that I gave it some thought, and I had a lot of people tell me, that they thought I was in the top 20, that they saw, basically I ended up with a lot of airtime.
What did you get out of it? Let's talk about it. I don't want to talk over you, but I just want to get this out. Money,
quick,
fame, what did you really get out of doing American Idol? Do you feel it got you more work here in Chicago or just, anywhere in the country or money at least? What did you get out of American Idol?
Well, they don't actually pay the contestants at the round that I was at, but like I said, they paid for the flight, the food, the hotel. I didn't have to spend $1 if I did not choose to, and it was absolutely unlike any experience that you could possibly you could not reproduce it if you tried. I mean, first of all, it's like I tell people it was like going back to high school on an awesome field trip. That you think back to those priceless moments. If you tried to reproduce something like that as an adult, you would literally have to pay buku dollars for some kind of musical convention that's television related, or you know what I'm saying. There's no way to reproduce that
Oh,
Yeah.
it definitely got you publicity. I mean, you walked up to us on the street, and I thought I
airtime out of it.
recognized you. Remember when I first met you on the street?
Right.
In front of the one bar you were going to play in that night. I forget where I was. Where were we? I don't even remember. We were in Chicago.
Was it Wise Fool's Pub? Was it Elbow Room? Was it the Cubby Bear? Was it?
No, it was down like towards the city by the river. I can't remember. I want to say it was like on Ontario or somewhere over there. By Billy Deck's place, I think we were over by there.
Okay.
But yeah, so the point is, look at all this publicity. You ended up on a show here in Chicago that we're getting a decent following.
Out of it. That's what I was trying to say before. Is a lot of the contestants that went further than I did in the competition actually had less airtime than I, and I think part of that has to do with just everywhere I went while I was in LA, I was literally I felt like they're following me around with cameras. They'd come to my hotel room at 5 a.m. one time, knock on the door, and wake me up and shine a camera in my face.
That's hilarious.
I wasn't too pleased with that. I'm not a morning person, but
you had a feud with some people too, didn't you? You had a feud with a couple of people on the show.
The only disagreement that we had was just that when it was group night, they wanted, the rest of my group sort of wanted to choose a song that not only I did not jive with the lyrical content. It was a song that, is singing about, getting revenge on an ex-boyfriend and taking him for his money and this and that. And I was like, I would rather sing something more wholesome. Now, if I had worded it that way instead of throwing a little temper tantrum and freaking out, basically what I did was I very vehemently suggested that we sing something not only with less lyrics to remember, because that song, it's called Hit 'Em Up Style. They wanted to sing that song. Mm-hmm. I was against it not only because of the lyrical content, but because of the fact that there were so many lyrics. We were told that we had permission to write lyrics on our hands with pen or Sharpie or, if we could not remember, because we only had one night as a group. They put us in they decide who your group members are. We have to choose a song and tell them that very night before we go back to our hotels. Next morning at the studio, we have a day and part of that last night to practice it, and then that's it. The performance comes, the next round. So, you don't have enough time to memorize a song that yesterday you've never heard before and has, a different series of lyrics that are, several lines long for each verse. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I mean, I think that I'd be awesome if I could try to do something like that, but you did it, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nigel Lisco, in fact, oh man, and let me just say.
Do you keep touch with them? Do you keep in touch with the people at American Idol, or no?
Oh, if I saw them around or something, but the only contact I've really had so far was, 3 or 4 of the contestants. We sent a message via the internet here and there, but just checking in. How you doing? But not much else. No. But I'll say this: I ran into a couple of people that were on previous seasons, and I didn't recognize them, but they ran up to me and said, "Hey, I saw you. I was on season 9 or season 8." But I want to say one thing about Nigel Lisco and Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, go ahead.
They are also, as well as the judges, they are a huge part of the show. Ryan Seacrest, being the host, gets a lot more airtime than Nigel Lisco, so people get to know his personality, better. And he also has another.
Well, Nigel's just a producer. He's not even on the air.
Who's
Nigel Lisco is a producer. He has sat as a judge, I believe, on So You Think You Can Dance. He got more airtime on that show. Or was it he? It wasn't So You Think You Can Dance. I'm totally incorrect. But either way, he has been a panel judge on another reality show.
Yeah, no, he was on that dance one, I think.
He was something to do with
I have
dancing.
no idea
I may
who
have
you're
the
talking
title
about.
wrong. Yes, I
Yeah,
said, I'm not as much of a
but he
television-
does. He's one of the producers. And like Simon Cowell, did you run into Simon Cowell, or is he not even around anymore?
No. Yeah, the season that I was on, like I said, Simon Cowell was no longer on the show. He was not anywhere to be found nearby. But Nigel Lisco, I actually got enough time to really sort of see what his personality was like, and that guy really grew on me. I knew mostly nothing about him or Ryan Seacrest generally before I went to LA, but then I also met them in Chicago. I got to know them over the time, just a bit, and it was really a pleasant experience.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you get to actually interact with the judges themselves? You really don't, except when you're on camera with them, right?
Well, you're sitting in a big auditorium, waiting for your turn, and you'll see them up there. You get more of an opportunity to observe them doing their thing, as opposed to actually interacting with them. It's not like they came to dinner and palled around with us all day while they, what I mean? They had lots of work to do, and then they have, such a busy work schedule that I'm sure when they are done, when they clock out, they just want to go rest or do whatever it is they enjoy.
Yeah.
But
so you don't see him off camera. You just see him during the actual. You don't see him off camera at all. Then
you see him off camera a bit. Yeah, I mean, you see them walking in. You see them maybe perhaps getting in the car outside, or I've seen him around a few times when the cameras were not rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm probably sure that.
Go ahead,
me. I mean, I'm probably sure that you probably didn't because they're trying to maintain some sort of objectivity.
Oh yeah, they don't want to hang out with you.
They don't want to
guys.
hang out with you because if they start developing some sort of personal, connection or something, that's going to probably screw up their judgment.
Right.
So
Never thought about that.
You pretty much everyone is. The general vibe I got is that most of the contestants were just very, very nervous to meet them. Looking forward to it, but scared to death that they were going to say something wrong, or hoping that they were going to impress them. And
well, you guys all look pretty skinny on camera too. So I mean, that's I
know
I look fat on camera.
Why wasn't I nervous? Yeah,
you guys look pretty good.
Yeah, that's why we got on camera here in the radio station.
Yeah, we don't. We're talking about getting on. Well, we are on YouTube, but you only see still pictures of us. Thank God. So you. Which reminds me, I don't want to forget. That's another reason I wanted to have you on. We want to have you in the studio to do a performance because one of your other gigs you do now is the fire performing. The fire. What do you call the actual art of it? Fire.
Yeah,
fire bobbing.
I'm a fire dancer, and the
fire dancing. There we go.
I use are called poi. I've got two loops that I put on each hand. I got one on each hand, and I've got a chain that dangles from the leather loops, and then there's a woven cube of Kevlar that you dip in white gas, camping fuel, and you make sure you don't have any excess, flying about, and you check your tools and make sure they're screwed on tightly, and
cool.
You practice your safety, and then you light them on fire, and you actually, can learn quite a few awesome tricks. And
would you need some help? Could you come out here and do it by yourself if we light it up for you and you just perform right? We will have a video going for that.
The only help I need is I never burn without a safety. A safety is someone who will be sitting nearby.
Okay, with what?
Crouching, rather, holding a towel that has been dampened with water.
Okay, so a damp
towel. In case there were
towel.
to be an accident, the safety is trained on what to do and when to do it.
Will you bring that person with, or are we supposed to do it?
I'll either bring a person with, or if one is not available, I will come early and give either of you a crash course in fire safety.
Okay, I'd like to be the safety person.
Are you volunteering?
I am volunteering to be your safety
I'm glad
person.
it's him because you don't want me for that.
In case you start burning, or if maybe I catch myself on fire, that'll be fun.
Probably.
Yeah. As I said on the show, I've never had any real accidents except when I was first learning. I did one time. I was afraid that I had caught on fire, but I had not. And I just sort of dropped the tools in the grass. There was a big circle of people, watching, and it was really embarrassing.
Nice.
I just sort of went, and I dropped the tools in the grass and ran away.
So
I realized I wasn't on fire, went back and got them. And then other time was...
There's another time.
This is all, like I said, years ago. But
because you're a pro now.
in Shannara Bathory of Night Magic Designs' backyard. She is the queen of the fire troupe that I was part of.
Okay.
A beautiful thing that we can discuss another time.
Is that in Chicago or where's
yes,
she? Okay.
They are. She's actually moved recently. I believe she's in Kansas City now, Missouri. But she's a wonderful performer. She was the sort of head woman of the fire troupe that I was a part of, Night Magic Designs. I started out as their MC, and then I became a performer as well. And if sometimes we would have me open up with music and another musical act, and then fire.
Sweet.
But
so you're an expert.
Performed with them a few times.
You are definitely an expert, like live performer. You do the fire dancing and singing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love the MC stuff. I would like to pick up more, gigs as an MC, but I don't advertise that. So
I like your voice. You sound a little like Melissa Etheridge with a little bit of Sheryl Crow, and I can't think of who else mixed in there. I like your voice, though.
It's kind of raspy and
yeah, I like that. A little bit of an edginess to the voice.
A bit deeper than some, but
maybe a little Janis Joplin too. I don't know. You hear a little Janis Joplin in there?
Just a little bit.
Maybe a little Cindy Lou, like my co-host. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
well,
hey, we're
voice.
gonna take a quick break, and then we'd like you to play something to play us out at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get ready. We'll take a quick commercial break as soon as Kingpin gets it ready to go, and we'll be right back on the Best Morning After Ever radio show with more of Kezban. She's gonna play a song.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yep, we'll be right back right after this.
This is Todd Imperato from the Radio Asylum, also TEI Entertainment. Are you looking for a DJ, an MC for an event? Would you like us to plan a party? Come on out and see us over at Brunswick Zone, River Grove on Fridays and see how we do things. And if you like it, you can give me a call at 773-750-8307. Party planning of all occasions. We do it all. Once again, that is TEI Entertainment, 773-750-8307. Call us now.
Don't miss him any longer. John St. John is back to fill your ears with his goodness on the Best Morning After Ever radio show. John?
Yeah, we're back, and
right.
we just took a quick little break to get Kezban ready. She's going to go ahead and play us out to the end of the show. What do you want to do? One of originals, or want to do a cover?
Well, that's sort of up to you guys and your preference. About how much time do I have?
About 2 minutes.
about 2 minutes.
So just a quick, like I said, she's going to play us out to the end of the show, everybody. So
As I said, no, I didn't say. I've got a brand new original that is only about a week old. It's like a baby learning to crawl.
okay,
And then I've got covers that I love to play, such as Social Distortion, Cold Feelings.
well, why don't we play 2
A
minutes?
ballad instead of a punk song.
Let's
Or
play
maybe,
Let's
the
play
blonde
2
one.
minutes of your new song because we're running out of
Okay.
time here. So everybody, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, slaminternetradio.com, of course, and Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, YouTube, iTunes, and soon, hopefully, to be on iHeartRadio maybe one day. And, all you got to do is type in the Best Morning After Ever radio show, and now you can just type in Kezban, and you'll find her as well. So without further ado, Kezban's going to take us out tonight. Everybody have a good night, and here's Kezban with a new original.
Refusal, sometimes it doesn't behoove you, sometimes it closes portals before it can open doors for you to walk through. Keep an open mind. be does not become you. Please, please don't sit too long. Refusal, sometimes it doesn't behoove you. Sometimes it closes portals before it can open doors for you to walk through. Keep